What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video and to the channel. I am super excited for this video because I'm going to be installing some GTS taillights on my F30 behind me here. Right now, the GTS taillight upgrade is a really popular mod among the F30 and F80 community since these just came out a couple months ago, and I'm going to do it myself because as we take a look here on my pre-LCI taillights, as I continue to do stuff to the car and make it more aggressive, the taillights are quickly going to just not look good with the rest of the car, and it's already starting to not look good. And they are the pre-LCI taillights, which don't look as good as the LCI. If these were the LCI, I probably would keep these because I do like how the LCI looks, but not these. So I think the taillights are definitely going to do the rear some justice. As you guys saw if you watched my previous video, I just put on this CS style carbon fiber spoiler. But as I did mention, I'm kind of not satisfied with it because of the design of it. Like overall, like the carbon fiber look and the quality is good. No complaints there, it's just the look of the CS style that I was going for. It's not really what I was going for. It's too thin, it doesn't really stick up as high as I thought. Though this was an eBay spoiler for only $170, that's why. This is what happens, you know, when you buy stuff online. You never know how it's really gonna look when it gets here. But I went ahead and bought another one that I think will have the actual authentic CS style look. That'll look a little bit higher, that'll come up a little bit higher. And I think I like that one better. It was more expensive, but yeah. But look out for part 2 of that video where I install another CS style spoiler. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to be installing the GTS taillights, getting rid of these pre-LCI taillights. So let's go ahead and take a look at the taillights. So here are the GTS style taillights, version 2. As you can see, they're fresh out of the box. I haven't even taken off the plastic covering here. So let's go ahead and take this off and get a nice, good look at these taillights. So as you guys can see, these look freaking awesome. I cannot wait to put these on the car. Probably the best thing about these taillights, I think most people would agree, is the startup animation of these lights down here. I cannot wait to see how that looks on the car. After seeing it on other people's cars, it just looks so cool and just completely changes the look of the back of the car. Since I, for the longest time, hadn't done anything to the rear of the car, and with the spoiler and then now putting these taillights on, the rear is going to start looking much more aggressive. So to install these GTS taillights, it should be pretty straightforward from what I've seen. All you have to do is remove the old taillights and then make some connections and then just mount these, this part to the trunk and then this part to the rear corner of the car, and that's pretty much it. So it should be pretty straightforward. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing, obviously, we need to remove the old pre-LCI taillights. I think I'm going to start with this part up here first and then do this one. So to remove this part of the light up here, we're going to have to remove this whole thing under here. It's just held on by these screws. I believe there are 6 of them. 3 of them and then 2 down there, so 5 of them. And then we just have to undo these fastening screws here with some sort of pry tool, and I think that should be it. Oh, there's more screws up there actually, now that I see. So there are actually 7 of those screws, so yeah. So it looks like you could just use a screwdriver to remove these. So let's go ahead and get started on this. Actually, I believe you have to remove this piece first and then the rest of this up here. So you have to remove these 2 pieces on each side and then this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. saw that, you just have to unclip these here by pushing these in, and it'll just unclip, and then up here there's a little piece that slides in that you have to kind of maneuver out of the hole on the trunk here. Alright, so I was able to get this part of the trunk off. I just have it hanging by that because I don't know how to remove that. I don't think it's necessary because we can see the back part of this part of the taillight. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect this electrical connection and then loosen this 10mm nut here, and then it should just pop out. Just might have to maneuver it out of some clips or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and try that out. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and remove this part of the taillight. Should be pretty easy, I've done it before. So here I have the GTS taillight that goes on the trunk. As you can see, there's a bunch of wires, but everything is pre-wired, so literally all I have to do is just connect this piece with a connection on the trunk there, and then just mount this, and then mount this, I'm guessing a resistor somewhere out of the way, and that's it. It has like a little wire here that's supposed to connect with the other part of the taillight that goes on the bottom there, down in the trunk, for that section. So yeah, just make sure this wire is exposed so it can connect to the wire that goes in that part of the taillight. So the GTS taillights have two connections, a bigger one and then a small one. For the pre-LCI, it's the smaller one, and it's the only one that fits with the connection on the car, so that's how you know it's the smaller one. So I pretty much have everything in place on the part of the taillight that goes on the trunk. I'm gonna leave everything exposed. I'm not gonna like stick this down and then put this back up. I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on and connect everything and make sure everything works before I put all this stuff back together. So on the other part of the taillight, it has this like long wire that is supposed to connect into that connection I pointed out on that part of the taillight. So I'm just gonna run it up where you see all the wires there. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this wire through this hole right here. That way it's inside. And I'm basically just gonna tear back or pull back the inside covering there so that I can run it along where the rest of the wires are. have both parts of the taillight all connected to all the electrical connections, so everything is connected to some sort of power source. I just need to mount everything and, you know, put the bolts and cover this back up. But before I do that, I'm gonna make sure that everything works and turns on. So I'm gonna go ahead and, ooh, you see that? That is so awesome. And the top works too. Looks like it does. Dude, that's so cool. That, oh my god, that looks so awesome. Alright, so it looks like both parts of the taillight work, so I'm gonna go ahead and just tape this wire around here so that it runs down this, and then go ahead and put the nuts back on here so that we can secure that. Probably gonna mount this somewhere up here somewhere so that that's out of the way. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so I have pretty much literally everything installed in regards to the taillights. Everything is secured. One thing that I would like to note that I try to do, you gotta be careful not to, like when you're taping like all this wire, like if you want to put it somewhere. Originally I put it like right here and I like taped it there, but the hole is right there that'll secure this thing. So you just got to be aware of that. I think it'll be fine if I just kind of put it in this area, and then once I, you know, put this in place, it'll just like rest in here, out of the way. Same thing with that side. So I think it should be good like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this piece back together and reinstall all of the little push clamp things, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called, but I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back in and get a good look at these new taillights with the trunk closed.